Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody, guys. Let's take a look in euro currency as usual on the first video. So our trading plan that we have prepared in the weekend stands on the way. So we're still trading the setups that we have discussed yesterday and in our weekly report. So market keeps bullish sentiment, trend is bullish on the daily chart. Market shows really small retracements, so not really significant pullbacks on the upward direction. Market is not ever bad, so it keeps chances on upward continuation. And currently we continue our journey with patterns that we have on the follow time frame chart, on the hourly chart. Compared to yesterday analysis, today we have some moment that makes overall situation a bit more tricky, but it's still a question whether these moments will really work. So for example, on the follow time frame chart, everything stands perfect. Recall what we have talked about, this overall price action. We said that we have this ABCD pattern, OP1330, that's our first nearest target. As market has completed XOP target here of the initial ABCD pattern that we have traded last week. Here we have the acceleration to the XOP. Reaction on the XOP was very small. It mostly reminds this sideways action right around the previous target, and this looks bullish. And everything stands pretty nice if we wouldn't have this bearish grabber. So maybe it will not make impact on the larger time frame on the daily chart. Maybe it will not make some negative impact, but on the intraday charts, this brings some complexity, because in general, if we wouldn't have this grabber, we would say, well, this upward action stands very nice, market stands in upside channel, and it's logical to suggest that market should hit the major OP target here. Next target is 114 even, is XOP, and even you could take a look, that's a butterfly, nicely butterfly is forming right now. But appearing of the grabber tells that market potentially could drop and taken out of these lows. That's the tricky moment. And this grabber puts the shadow on the perspective of the upward action. What is more important, guys, so we will take a look at the hourly chart. Recall what we said. Yes, we said we will trade reverse head and shoulders here. And everything stands really good with this head and shoulders. Take a look. Downward action was slow. Upward action was fast. That's very nice. Drop has happened precisely to the points that we have described. So we said this will be the left arm bottom, so right arm bottom somewhere around the trend line support. So be good opportunity to go long. And indeed, you can see market has tested twice this area. First was yesterday on this spike down. Today also it was tested. Market shows healthy bounce. And we said that this price action could be similar to this one. Because here we also have traded, if you remember last week, the reverse head and shoulders, and particularly by this pattern, market has hit the target. So, but the grabber that has been formed here suggests the drop below these lows, and it means that head and shoulders will fail. If head and shoulders will fail, it suggests that the downward action should continue. We do not know right now what the degree of the continuation will be, but for example, if we would suggest a kind of the double top here, it will be somewhere to maybe even 618 support around the 1240 area. And here you need to make the decision. So if you're scaring of the grabber that we have on the follow time frame chart and you do not have any position, well, you could wait for a clarity. The problem is that if and when grabber will be erased, for example, if market still will continue move high and taken out of this top, it will be very small potential to the target. if we will not take in consideration XOP, of course. And probably you just will miss this overall bullish trade that we have. But in this case, you just will get an assurance that you will not get the last trade based on the grabber. This market could lead to the breakout. Other traders who maybe already have taken the long position on the bottom of this right arm or just plan to do this, well, in this case, you just need to wait, see what will happen. So if market will somehow return right back down, break these lows, and start moving back to the lows, it will mean that hand shoulders will fail, and you could probably close position or just put stop somewhere below the head. Personally, I have taken position yesterday somewhere in this area, so slightly above these lows. So currently I stand approximately at break even, but I keep my stop currently still below the head. So I'm just watching what will happen with this head and shoulder, especially because when I have taken the position, grabber has been completed yet. So that's in general the setup that we will be watching for. So it seems that either grabber will work and market will raise these hand shoulders, or grabber will fail and market will continue to move higher to the upside and first to the 1330 target. So depending on your trading style and your psychology, you could choose a different way to act. So you could just do nothing and see for clarity what pattern will prevail, or take the bet on the direction that you think will dominate and that will work. So it will be either grabber on the follow time frame chart or reverse hand shoulders here on the hourly. So that's a bit tricky moment on the euro currency right now. So let's see what we'll get today.